time I was a kid that had a head full of dreams. I'm now a drifter with a pack of cigarettes in my jeans. I'm a one-man circus as I'm walking the line. I lost a Chevy tank of gas on Interstate 69. I had the roof down, singing with my head in the sun. I never had a job, just had plenty of fun. I'm on my way, gonna stray back down.
Morning. So I'm out quite early this morning. It's just coming up for 7. I was up quite early. I'm out on the Whittlesea ride today. So this is the one, we've done this a few times. It's about 40 miles. It goes over all those level crossings. So I'm on, as you can see behind me, I'm on Puddock Road. Gonna head up there, turn out over that way, and then head up to Ponders Bridge, and then from there cut down to Whittlesea, or cross to Whittlesea, and then through March, and then back kind of that way. Well, it's actually back all the way down Puddock Road here. So as I say, we have done this probably 3 or 4 times. So this is the first time, well, it's the first bit of exercise I've done for getting on for a fortnight now. The last bit was the last ride actually on here. And you might, for those of you who've seen it, remember that certainly for the last few miles, I was really struggling, as I am at the moment. Bloody hell. It turned out that I was harbouring a lurgy, so I've actually been, well, Mrs B as well, we've both actually been really rough this last kind of week and a half, with a sinus infection. So I do feel a bit better. I don't feel 100%, but I'm certainly not gonna race around today. I was just keen to get out, because the coast to coast is actually in 6 weeks tomorrow. So, and you know, this close to that event, having pretty much 2 weeks without any exercise really hasn't done me any favours. So I really need to kind of get out and get pedalling, or get on the turbo and get pedalling. So anyway, so yeah, so this one, as I say, it's about 40 miles. It's a bit breezy, but hopefully, as long as the wind direction doesn't change, we'll have a tailwind all the way down Puddock on the way home. So I will spin you around, I'll put you back on the bike, and I will speak to you intermittently through the ride. So I hope you enjoy this one, and I'll see you in a bit. I'll see you in a bit.
station's been closed. Irony's not lost on me, I'm freezing to the bone. But what bothers me is I'm so far away from home. What bothers me is I'm so far away from home. Home, home, home. Little more gas for me, please. Just crack open the window.
So I've just turned off what was becoming a fairly busy road. It's just gone 7:30. The road back there up to Ponders Bridge is the main one to Peterborough. So Peterborough's that way. So obviously this time in the morning it does get pretty busy, and there's obviously you got Peterborough over there with the A1, but there is an A1 junction sort of heading down that way as well. So it does get quite busy along there, but I'm off that road now anyway, so I'm heading now. That was Ponders Bridge, not that you'll have seen much of it, but I'm heading now directly into a headwind but down to Whittlesea. So hopefully when we get to Whittlesea we'll turn out of it, because we're sort of heading over that way, so we should have a bit of a side wind. And as I say, by the time we get down to Benwick and the top of Puddock, hopefully, if the wind direction doesn't change, we'll have a tailwind. But anyway, one thing that I do need to mention is, now we're in May, this is May the 2nd, yeah, it's May the 2nd, Friday. Firstly is that, and worryingly, I've got the coast to coast next month. Kind of brings it home a bit more when you say next month. It's 6 weeks tomorrow. So obviously those of you who have been watching these videos and following me on the channel and on Instagram will know that I am riding the coast to coast on the 14th of June. It's 150 miles from Seascale to Whitby, and I'm doing it to raise money and awareness for SKCIN Charity. So that's, they are one of the UK's leading skin cancer awareness charities. Obviously, and I'm saying obviously a lot, but hopefully you will know again from watching some of these videos that the lovely Mrs. B had a diagnosis of skin cancer the year before last, and had some fairly significant operations last year to remove various lumps and chunks, which have left her with some very sizable scars. It was a tough year emotionally, obviously for her and for those around her as well. So, you know, I know firsthand the impact that skin cancer can have on someone. So I think for me personally, it was an obvious choice to kind of raise some money and to raise some awareness for skin. But the thing that I do need to mention is, with it being May now, this is the National Skin Cancer Awareness Month. So what I'm going to do now is, while I battle into this headwind, I'm going to put some nice chilled acoustic music on and run a little montage just to give you an idea of what that means. The information that I'm gonna put on here has been sent to me from SKCIN. So yeah, I'd appreciate if you could just take the next minute or so just to take a look at the next few slides that I put up, and I'll see you a bit further down the road. So I'll see you in a bit. So let me just bring that music down. Right, that's better. So yeah, so thanks for looking at that. Hopefully it's sparked some awareness of skin cancer. Obviously I don't want to make everybody paranoid, but if you look on the SKCIN website, the link is in the description of this video. There's loads of resource on there. They've got an absolutely brilliant app that you can download on your phone. It's got loads of different functionality on it: UV checker, mole checker, skin track function. You know, if you're looking at blemishes and marks. And as I say, their website is has a wealth of information on it regarding all the different types of skin cancer and kind of prevention and detection. So it's very, very well worth looking at that. So I'm going to press on because this wind is actually starting to really get on my nerves at the moment. I shouldn't let it. As I said in the last one, it's inevitable that it's going to be windy out in the fens. But yeah, I'm going to press on. I'll spin you around so you can see where we're going, and I will talk to you again. I'm not sure. Yeah, but I probably will talk to you again where I normally talk to you on this video, on that real long stretch of road out in the middle of nowhere, which doesn't really narrow it down much because there's a lot of long stretches of road out in the middle of nowhere in the fens, but I know where I mean. So I will, once I get there, I'll speak to you then. I'll see you in a bit. See you in a bit. told you it was in the middle of nowhere. So we have stopped here before a few times. We just come down that way, and we're obviously going that way, down there. Eventually heading over that way. I mean, you can sort of see, hopefully you can see how breezy it is. I mean, these, whatever these plants are, weeds or whatever they are, buzzing about, but you can see hopefully the wind turbines over there are going round at a fair old pace. Fortunately, we are heading that way in a minute, so we should now be out of the headwind. As I said on these videos before, being a circular route. Oh, bloody hell, sorry. Being a circular route, you do kind of have the wind with you and against you on the route. But you know, I've stood here many times as well and said, you know, we're surrounded by wind turbines. There's hundreds of them. They're over there, over there, over the back there, over there. There's some white over in the distance that probably can't see on the on this camera, but yeah, this kind of what you get out in the fens. But yeah, going well at the moment. The wind is actually quite cold. I think it's a kind of, it is a northerly wind, so they did say on the weather forecast last night that it is due to get a bit breezier, and it is going to be a northerly wind, so so it's going to be a bit cooler. I mean, the temperature certainly has dropped from the last couple of days. Yesterday was absolutely scorching, but I didn't really do a lot. I just kind of kept out of it. I'm not really much of a sun person anyway. So, but anyway, let's crack on. We'll head down that way and yeah, get cracking on. Sorry, what was that? What, this? This is a I'm glad you asked about that, because I'd completely forgotten. It's a bracelet. It's a set of beads that were given to me by SKCIN. They're by a company called UV Buddy, and they, as can be seen in this picture, they change colour depending on the amount of UV light that is around. So you can see on the picture on the left, the beads are white, and in the picture on the right, when they've been exposed out into full sun, they turn like a purple colour. You can see, I'm probably going to have to shout because I think there's a tractor coming down, but you can see on these ones at the moment they're kind of fairly dark purple, which is quite surprising actually, because the sun hasn't really been out much, so it's quite telling to see how much UV you can get exposed to even on a cloudy day. One thing for us, just let this tractor go past. One thing for us people who like to be out in the outdoors, so whether you work outdoors or whether you partake in sort of sports outside, is, you know, you should be aware of the UV levels. You know, make sure you slather yourself with sun cream, cover yourself up. I mean, this gear that I've got on is kind of UV protective anyway, so but you know, speaking from a cyclist perspective, because I do claim to be one, you can see from these pictures here, there's a bit of a thing in the cycling community regarding tan lines. It sort of seems to sort of earn credibility with some people, and it's something that a lot of cyclists, certainly the continental cyclists, the European guys, tend to really kind of take a lot of pride in their tan lines. So you can see, obviously, with cyclists, as I am today, my legs are exposed. Normally when it's hot, I mean, I've got a short sleeve shirt on today, but I've got a kind of base layer underneath because I knew it was going to be quite cold. But usually my arms are exposed as well, so you get you know, as seen in these pictures, you can get the leg tan lines and the arm tan lines, and also in extreme cases, and this is probably a bit of a photoshopped picture, you can, if you're not careful, get sunburn through your lid. I mean, I've had times where I've got back from a long ride where I've had sort of marks on the side of my face where my glasses have been, and kind of marks down here where my straps have been. So you do need to be really careful. So yeah, so this UV bracelet, as I say, was given to me by the kind people at SKCIN Charity. You can visit their website. The details are in the link to this the description to this video, and you can buy one yourself. They come in different sizes. Unfortunately, the one or the two that I were given didn't actually fit, so I've managed to get some elastic and I've made a slightly bigger one, but it doesn't really matter. So but yeah, visit their website. As I said earlier, there's loads of resource on there about you know, protecting yourself in the sun, protecting yourself from UV, and just being safe while you're outdoors. As I say, whether you know, participate in sport or whether you work outside, probably more importantly if you're working outside, if you're out in it all the time. Anyway, I'm going to press on because I am actually starting to get really cold. All this talking about the sun, and it's actually disappeared behind a cloud. But there are some, I don't know if this will pick this up, but there are some awesome sun rays coming down from the cloud there. I'd say, I don't know if this lens will pick it up, but anyway, I'll put you back on the bike. I'm going to have a quick bite to eat, probably change the battery in this camera because I've been waffling a lot in this video. And I will speak to you. I've got to get through the madness of March. I'll speak to you probably the other side of March, or failing that, at the top of paddock. See you in a bit. See you in a bit. So that was March again. Never gets any better. And I'm sure it's a nice town, but every time I cycle through it, it just seems to be the busiest place on earth. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, so we're through that, across the A141. We're now on this, I was going to say sort of gnarly section down to Benwick, but this section of road is actually pretty smooth. We should be completely turning out the headwind. Well, not the headwind, I mean it's a bit of a crosswind now, but it's coming from that way. We're going that way, so hopefully it'll give us a tailwind in about, there's a bend just up here. so I'm hoping I'll turn out of it, because it is actually quite blustery and I can feel it hitting the front wheel, which has added to the excitement of the ride. But no, it's going all right. It's just coming up for 30 miles, so not too far now. I don't feel too bad. I am aching, but I sort of knew I would be anyway. You know, having not done anything for the last 2 weeks, I knew my fitness, and I was concerned that my fitness was going to drop. To be honest, I don't feel as bad as I thought I was going to feel. I'm certainly not match fit, but you know, I know in the next 6 weeks I can put the work in, put the hours in on this and on the turbo, and I'll get up to a decent level of fitness for the coast to coast. So yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to it. You know, there's elements like Hard Knock Pass and Rhinos Pass that I'm not overly looking forward to, but I'm looking forward to the day. It'll be really good, and I need to kind of get into that mindset of that kind of positive mindset of really kind of looking at the plus points of it. So, but no, I know it'll be a really good day. I've just got to, as I say, I've just got to now focus over the next 5 and a bit weeks on getting my fitness up to a fairly decent point. Right, I will spin you around so you can see where we're going, and I will talk to you again when we get to the top of Puddock, which hopefully won't be too long. So I will see you in a bit. See you in a bit. So you should know where we are by now. Top of Puddock Road. That's Puddock down there. So not far to go now. I've really enjoyed it. I was starting to get a bit warm, so I stopped in Benwick and took the gilet off. But then coming down the 40-foot bank, the wind is kind of going, well, it's sort of going that way, but it actually feels really cold still as I'm stood here. So I'm not going to put it back on, because I've just probably got about another 6-7 miles to go down Puddock till I get home, so it's not going to be too bad. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this one. It's good to get back out again. I was supposed to do the Suffolk Spring Classic last weekend, but I bailed because I just really wasn't feeling great. I was feeling absolutely appalling, to be honest. But so I bailed on that one. But I have got a couple more sportives planned, well, actually booked. So I've got one down in Kent the weekend after next, which is, I think, 78 miles. It's pretty hilly. I know it's hilly down that way anyway, but so I'm going to be driving down early in the morning. I think it's an 8 o'clock start, so I will have to leave here about 6 to get down there, because it's a fair distance from here. But so yeah, so I've got that one. I thought that would be good because it's on roads I've never ridden before, although I know it's going to be tough because it's got a lot of climbing involved, but I need to do it. So I've got that one in a couple of weeks time, and then a couple of weeks after that I've got the Suffolk Sunrise ride, which is 102 miles out of Framlingham. Again, not really sure where that is. Well, obviously I know it's in Suffolk, but I don't really know Suffolk too well, aside of doing the Spring Classic a couple of times out that way. I don't really know it too well, but that'll be good. So it's a lot more miles in the belt, under the belt. And I am planning on doing a couple of other bigger rides. I've got one planned up in the Peak District, which I'm going to look at doing in the next few weeks. So I'll drive up there on a rest day, park up and do a circular. I've actually mapped a couple of routes. One's 30 miles and one's about 50 miles. A significant amount of climbing because they go up over Winnet's Pass, sort of through Edale. I know that area really well because I've been up there loads of times. Cycled up there with Dad a few years ago, or quite a few years ago now. But again, I know it's going to be a tough route, but I need to do it. So it's all going to be good for the training. And then I've got another 100-miler, which I'm planning on doing potentially the week before the Coast to Coast, which is going from here, effectively from here up to Stamford, and then it goes from Stamford over to Rutland, and then sort of through Rutland, I think through Oakham, and then back kind of round the back of Peterborough, so sort of over that way, and then it comes back sort of on more familiar roads, kind of down I think sort of Winnick, Clopton way, sort of Alconbury sort of roads we've been on before. So I'm aiming to do that one, as I say, the week before the Coast to Coast, and then the week of the Coast to Coast I won't be doing anything because I'm on nights. I should be on nights for the 3 nights, but I've booked the Wednesday night off just to give me a bit more of an opportunity to sort of turn myself around as far as sleep wise. I'll get the bike sorted, might do a turbo session on the Thursday, but then on the Friday I'm driving up to the Lake District to do the ride on Saturday, so it's going to soon come around. So again, I am waffling. I've done a lot of waffling on this video, so I will put you back on the bike, head down Puddock and get home and have a shower and a coffee, or a coffee and a shower. Thanks for joining me on this one. If this is the first one of mine you've seen, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like if you like it, and subscribe if you haven't. And if you have subscribed, thanks for your support. I really do appreciate it, and stick with me up to the Coast to Coast. I'm sure it's going to be entertaining. Might not be for me while I'm doing it, but I'm sure in a few months' time when I sit and watch it in the comfort of the sofa with a coffee and a biscuit, I'm sure it'll be a fun thing to watch. But so anyway, I will see you on the next ride. Not sure where that's going to be yet. It's a bank holiday this weekend, so I don't want to overdo it, as I say, because I'm not feeling 100% still, but I am planning on getting out tomorrow, Sunday and Monday. I just need to try and kind of build my fitness back up to a decent level. So I won't film all of those rides, but I'll probably film another one of them. So so hopefully I will see you on the next one. Take it easy, and I will see you in a bit. See you in a bit.